Hi, I'm Brendan, here with Mike Riley. We're your mortgage experts, and today we're talking about no money down loans, like free money from Jesus.
The first type of loan, there's three types of loans we want to talk about. The first type of loan are VA loans for veterans of the U.S. military. You've probably done some. They're not hard. The only little idiosyncrasy of them is that the appraisals can take 2 weeks, and there's really no way to rush them. But other than that, it's like any conventional or FHA loan. It's underwritten the same way. We do them all in-house. It's a great benefit for the veterans, all of whom have earned that. So we do a lot of VA loans. Oftentimes we get a seller concession to pay some or all of their closing costs. Some of our VA buyers go to closing with no money, and in some cases even get their earnest money deposit back. Now that's one way, but if you're not a veteran, you can buy a house in the country, because I can't say the word rural very well. So I call them country loans, not rural housing loans.
You know who else can't say rural?
Who?
That kid.
Or his little sister.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid of country loans, because they're not as scary as the two smallest kids in this picture. Where did you get this picture?
Some producer made it.
Okay, JC?
I think it was JC. It was.
Okay.
Yeah, shout out JC.
Right. So the USDA loans, there are some parts to them, like there are income limits, but the income limits are pretty high. But they are no money down loans. You have to buy a house in an area designated by the USDA. By the way, USDA is the United States Department of Agriculture. They offer no money down loans in country areas. There's a map we can go to. We're glad to share the website with you. Super easy. You go to the website, you put in the address, it tells you yes or no, whether that's USDA eligible. So another part of the USDA is there are income limits, again, but they're pretty high. I don't know if I already mentioned that, but there are income limits. For the most part, 640 score is kind of like what is easiest to get approved, but we can get loans approved with lower scores kind of case by case. So anyway, if you're a veteran or buying a house out in the country, we've got a no money loan down for you, but not everybody is in that category, which leads us into these two categories.
Right, the first-time home buyer programs, major selling point for the realtors. You know, you can market it to buyers that you don't have to have any down payment. The state will cover it. We have these two programs, Chenoa and Florida Housing Loans. Chenoa is for the borrowers with a 600 plus score. The rate might be a little higher than the Florida Housing, but we're a one-stop shop for Chenoa and the Florida Housing deals. The Florida Housing deals, 640 is the minimum score, and like I said, we're the one-stop shop for that.
And it's tough sometimes because on the Florida Housing, they have to make enough to qualify for the loan, but they can't make too much because there's income limits too. So we have to thread the needle a little bit, right? Whereas Chenoa, there are no income limits.
That's an awesome point, Mike. So what we have been doing with a majority of our first-time home buyers is getting the seller to give a concession. And what that means is that the buyer only needs to cough up the earnest money deposit, the appraisal, and the home inspections, which are voluntary. So last month we did a deal where our buyer only brought $1,600 to closing. And
Right.
That was because of the $1,000 earnest money and then the $600 appraisal fee.
Yeah, and we do deals all the time, probably, I don't know, close to one a month, where the buyer brings no money to the table because their earnest money covers all of the funds to close that they need, because we get them the down payment from either Florida Housing or Chenoa, and we get a seller concession for the rest. So there are ways to get your buyers into homes with little to no money. And we would love to tell you more. Just call Brendan or call myself, and we'd love to share that with you, or we'll come out to your office and do a little lunch and learn with you. We would love to do that. Thanks for watching.